get a little I'm finally getting some exploring in, some real exploring. I'm not really hunting. Well, I'm not hunting. But just out of habit, I brought my gun. You never know. You never know when that 1 in a million monster buck is gonna stand out in front of you. Maybe, possibly, right? Or that 1 in a million hungry, old or young male cougar is gonna see you as a meal ticket. Easy chunk of meat and decide to sink his claws into you, which doesn't happen very often at all, but it does happen, right? When you're all by yourself, there's not much you can do about it if you don't even it up with those teeth and claws. So anyway, what I mean by finally really exploring is what I normally do when I go to a new area I've never been to. I will go up every single old dirt road I can find, every single one of them, and I will get absolutely familiar with every single hill, every single trail, every single everything. And that's how I start to create my hunting success. If it's hunting is what I'm doing. I might hunt around here one day, maybe not, definitely not this year, but while I'm out snooping around, I want to look around and learn. And also find some cool views for sharing people's voices at the same time. Because let's face it, the shop is getting a little old at home for me to be doing this, and the neighborhood noises. I prefer it out here. I prefer to spend my time out here. And but anyway, let's get on with it. And then I'm going to keep exploring. There's nothing better for me than getting up high, getting a good view, and I'll give you an idea where I am. I'll swing the camera that way after, but I can see ocean now in the Alberni Inlet, and right on the other side, looking to my 3 o'clock, is where China Creek comes into the ocean. Now, China Creek is where I filmed all those steelhead underwater last July, and that is straight across that way from me. I'll swing the camera in a bit. Enough of the babbling. Let's get into some voices being heard, all right? It's very important. Now, Mr. Ash. This sounds familiar, Mr. Ash. Remember that name? All right. Titled, Mr. Ash's Diary, A Long-Lost Gift, in brackets. Good morning, good sir. Hope this finds you well and full of success after a great hunt. It's archery deer season here in Michigan, and the whitetails have been playing their game of hide-and-seek with me. One 7-point wasn't as good as the others, and now occupies 3 shelves in my freezer. Good work. I'm still looking for his big brother, an 8 to 10-point buck I've seen for 3 years. He plays dirty. He runs into the national forest where I can't hunt. I know most of your subscribers have spent time in the nature world and understand that trying to outsmart prey animal during hunting season is an adventure in itself. Good luck to all your endeavors. All right, good luck to you too, man. And bit of a hint, try not to shoot their little brothers where you hunt them. That's what I do. I never harvest a buck where I'm hunting a specific buck ever until I get him. Anyway, another topic. I was recently given an early Christmas present by my neighbor and mentor. Actually, more like a second father. Mr. John Ashoba, Mr. Ash. It was presented to me by his grandson. Mr. Ash left it for me in his will, and it had been misplaced for years. It's Mr. Ash's diary of living in the northern Michigan woods. It should say diaries because there's 14 volumes. Oh my God, what a gold chest of gold nuggets. A chest of gold nuggets. It contains knowledge he had gathered over a period of 70 years, though there is one small obstacle that I have to deal with. Mr. Ash wrote in the journal in Algonquin. No. Now, I've been around natural Algonquin-speaking friends all my life up here, and I have a good understanding of the language and can relay several phrases, but when the language is written, well, you know how you want to pull your hair out over punctuation at times? In this journal, there is 0 punctuation. Yeah, let the adventure begin, right? Here's a small example Mr. Ash wrote in the back of the journal. Now, before you gain a cramp in your tongue, you may just want to scroll down to the translation. As you can see, no punctuation. I added the quotation marks. Wait a minute, you want me to read the natives' words? All right, This ought to sound good. It'll probably sound more like me attempting Chinese or Japanese. Kakanawinen, Kapamantisawat, Nitawiki Wak, Tipinimit Sowinik, Minatopita, Kikinita Kawasawiwin, K Tepakatausuwin, Otayanawa, Mikawinin, K Nipwakinen, Minawa Tash, Klishakana Wapan, Akako, Minowiki Witawik Winnick. There you go. I hope you're not going to make me do that again. Translation: all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are blessed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of kindness. There you go. Good words, Mr. Ash. Thankfully, Mr. Ash's grandson is helping me maneuver through this linguistic minefield. There are some pages he wrote in English, but he had the handwriting of a brain surgeon. I probably could read Chinese easier. One of the passages talks about the time he spent with his grandfather hunting as a young man back in 1927, near the little town that is now called Thompsonville, Michigan, a small town in the middle of the Père Marquette State Forest. He wrote about the first day. Nimishumas, my grandfather, and I saw deer sign everywhere, but there are no deer to be seen. The woods are very quiet. Mishumas, grandfather, seems nervous, and I don't know why. On the second day, he wrote, we woke up to find our food gone. Was raised into a tree. How could a bear reach that high? Mishumas, grandfather, is not himself. He seems far away. He wrote later that afternoon, Mishumas has told me to stay at camp, close to the fire, and not to let the fire go out. I'm worried now. He will not tell me what has him so distant. This is where the diary jumps a week in time. Now, a week later, Mr. Ash wrote, the stories are true. The Kichisabe are here. Side note, the Algonquin word for exist translates to are here. Grandfather had a talk with them when they came into our camp last Saturday. They spoke no words, but Mishumas, grandfather, understood their faces. Side note, to understand someone's face means their eyes tell the story. They were locked in deep stare. I sat in the Babagiwe Nangmig tent and was very afraid at first. Mishumas, grandfather, stood there for many minutes before he told me to come out of the tent. I could not move at first, but I went out and stood next to grandfather. Grandfather looked up at Kichisabe, and the tall man nodded. Then he went back into the woods. We stood there till the tall man was out of sight. Grandfather told me we must go. There is a Magi Bezhig, a bad one here. They, the Sabe, will help us leave safely. I still cannot believe what I have seen. Grandfather has spoken to me about what was said, not said, as he and the Sabe understood each other's faces. Grandfather knew the Sabe since he was a child. He would play with them in the woods, and they taught many good things. Grandfather said, we are brothers. I still do not understand. I hope time will teach me what that means. I question why I am not scared. Is this the way it should be, or is it strange medicine? This is the first of many questions of the Sabe in the diary. It's going to take me it's going to take me some considerably time to have the entire diary translated. I contacted a fluent Algonquin speaker of the Anishinaabe, and at first she wouldn't tell me anything. I told her about this diary, and when I told her it was given me by Mr. Ash, she basically said, why didn't you say so? She told me about a time when the Sabe and the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, lived together in harmony and traded with each other for hundreds of years. That all changed when the European fur trappers came to the Anishinaabe lands. The Europeans, mostly French at the time, brought diseases and guns and a word that no tribe in Western Hemisphere has in their vocabulary: land ownership. To the native people, no one owns the earth. We're all part of the earth. You can't own what has been given to you since the dawn of time. They also brought the barbaric practice of scalping with them. History records it was the savage Indians that scalped and disemboweled their enemies. That statement is far from the truth. Historians of old probably needed a compass to find their ass. History is written by the victors. Learn the whole story and you'll find it was the victors that were the true barbarians. The Anishinaabe have oral histories of how the fur trappers would shoot the Sabe and kill them for stealing animals from their traps. It was at this time the Sabe and the Anishinaabe had a falling out. This was when the Magi Bezhig, the bad ones, first appeared in the Anishinaabe oral histories. They were the Sabe that believed that these white men had to be sent away or killed from the land. The Magi Bezhig have one intent: to rid everyone, the native and whites alike, from the land. These are the people Mr. Ash told years ago that are very bad and dangerous. These who have come in contact with the Magi Bezhig are never seen again. Makes sense, because no predator is going to warn you before an attack, and an attack by one of these people is going to be swift and over quickly. To all those that have written in saying, I thought it was going to kill me, take this fact to heart. You wouldn't have the chance to write an email about your encounter. It would be over before you knew what was happening. When we hear the growls, the screams, and when they let us see them, it's not that they're going to attack you. They're trying to tell us something. It may be a warning. It may be to show us or guide us to something, or on the very rare occasion we happen to catch one off guard, in which case they're just as scared as we are. The Magi Bezhig, I apologize if I'm not pronouncing that word properly. It's B-E-Z-H-E-G, Bezhig, have been known to lure women, enticing them into the woods, never to be heard from again. The Menominee tribe in Wisconsin have many stories of these happenings going back hundreds of years. The fact is, just like the human race, there's those who are good and those who are bad. And like the human race, the majority is good. I can guarantee if you're attacked by one of these people, you're not going to write an email about your encounter. To be blunt, you'll be dead. No doubt. The speaker, I don't want to use her name until I have permission to do so. When I asked about the stare down Mr. Ash's grandfather and the Sabe engaged in, she told me of a time, centuries ago, when the elders, holy and medicine men, would have counsel, yet no one spoke a word. They sat in a sacred circle and they would know what was being not said. Their thoughts were all connected and knowledge was shared without uttering a word. The Ojibwe call it the times of old. Every tribe has a name for this period. Why did it cease? It's not known why. Every tribe has an explanation. The speaker said, this was a time when all native peoples were completely in tune with the earth and lived in harmony with all beings there. We have lost that balance to time, but the Sabe are one of the last holders of this knowledge. They are natural to the earth with their abilities that we have either lost or never had to begin with. The more I dig into these diaries, the more I realize why Mr. Ash wouldn't elaborate on certain subjects. He's trying to protect me. At least that's what I believe now. It's archery deer season. I've been up at the crack of dawn since the 1st of October. I bagged a 7-point that dressed out at 178 pounds. There's an 8-pointer running around here that looks more like a mule than a deer. I hope to find him before something else does. I found tracks down by the river's edge that measured 18.5 inches long and 7.5 inches wide at the ball. I have a feeling I'm not the only one hunting out here. Once hunting season is over, I'm going to put more time into these diaries. I'll send more along later if you'd like. Until then, safe travels and all the best for hunting season. Sincerely, okay, am I allowed to use your name? Back to the beginning. Alright, I'm pretty sure. You know what? I'm not going to say your full name, okay, man? I'm not going to say your full name because we don't need any dirty, filthy pricks that are stalking this channel. We don't need them showing up at your place trying to get a hold of those documents, all right? So I'm going to suggest that we don't share your name, and then we'll let you carry on with your due diligence and your big effort you're going to put into these diaries, and we will be sitting here vibrating with anticipation, waiting for you to come through with that, with more information and knowledge for us. Absolutely looking forward to it. What a frickin'... What a treasure. What a score. Good work. God, thank you so much for sharing that with us. What a kind, generous act that you just displayed for all the good, hardworking, honest people out there who are seeking knowledge. And what can I add to everything shared in there is, one thing is when they said that the Europeans brought the scalping and all the nasty things being done. I'd imagine they did, for sure, without a doubt. But if any of you are familiar, curious, Google up the Comanche Indians. Google up what they did to each other. Oh my gosh. The Comanche Indians, I guess they're farther south, they put the fear into every known surrounding tribe for hundreds of miles. And they did some real nasty, nasty shit to whoever they could catch, including women and children, and really did some real nasty shit to them. And that's just what they did. And that was their culture. That was them as a tribe. And they scared the living shit out of everybody. So, although there's numerous bad Europeans came over for sure, we all carry the blame for a lot, right? We were all doing nasty shit, including the hideout of the Queen Charlotte Islands. I think they made it all the way down to California, just taking heads the whole way, kidnapping women and bringing them back up to north coastal British Columbia. So I'm not sticking up for everybody. I'm just saying every single human group on the face of the planet has a history of absolutely violating other human beings. It is what it is. Thanks again for that share. Make sure you share more. And as far as us being possibly having the skills of those free people, I've been saying it all along. What I've been picking up from my puzzle pieces, I firmly believe that we all have those skills. We have them. And I am, for me personally, I'll never dictate to all you this is the way it is. But from what I'm learning, at this point of the game, I would bet the farm and borrow more to bet on top of that bet that our natural given skills have been suppressed and manipulated out of us. I'd bet everything I had, including my life. Well, I could probably throw in my life. I'm pretty confident. I'm that confident. I'd bet my life on it at this stage of the game. I have looked into and found way, way too much evidence pointing towards the fact that we are intentionally, deliberately being manipulated to be dumb as frickin' sticks. That's just from what I'm learning. And once I get more solid evidence, I'll share it all with everybody. You better believe it, I will. Now. Alright. What do we got? Mark is red. This comes with a question, is the title. What is your end game? Alright. Hi, Steve. I hope you read this privately first before trying to read on YouTube. Until I understand more of why you do this, you may not use my name. Sorry, it has to be this way. No problem. I've been watching your YouTube shorts for some time. Long story short, I can save you, your listeners, a ton of time. I accidentally came into contact with one of these creatures who was very pissed off. I survived by sheer luck. I've been sitting on this information for a long time, so have many others. Due to my work and my previous career, I must be very cautious. It's folks like me who talk and end up going missing, and not by the creatures, but by the authorities. I'm a Canadian, and I've lived in many locations around BC. Lots of cleanup after interactions with civilians. Some of what you think you know, you are close to the truth. Some truths that others have brought to you, I'm afraid you have outright been unbelieving. And in some cases, they speak the truth. Some things you believe are true, they are not. I need to understand your real motives. What you would do with the second biggest truthful story ever told. Ever. What would you do with the information? How would you present it to the world? I'm not going to do it. I want to keep on breathing. The only item I want you to bring to your listeners at this time is anyone who says they have a warm relationship with the wood people are full of shit. These creatures are extremely dangerous and hate us with every fiber of their being. They sometimes hunt us for sport. David is on the right track. The man will continue to screw David around until he gives up or becomes too much of a pain in their ass. Then, well, life is short. If you want to jump in the deep end of the pool, put your big boy pants on and return my email. As the subject for you to use in your email to me, use the code And when and if I give any information to you, I will give you a new email address for security reasons. If not hear back from you, no worries. I wouldn't believe this shit either. Take care and be safe. Well, I'll guarantee you're not the first one to give me an email with similar stance and words. So what are we going to do with this? What's my end game? My game, I don't know how many of these videos you've watched or how much you've done listening to me. This is obviously going to be a message to the emailer, all right? You guys can all sit and listen as I share. But if you've been listening to, I don't think it would take too many of these videos I create to listen to me and my stance on my end game, which is my present game. My present game, and let me get this straight. You mentioned in this that you want to keep breathing, and that's why you're scared to share. Well, there's one difference between me and you. I don't fear death at all. Nada. So, I've already proven it to myself, not to all you, but to myself. I've accepted the fact that this isn't the end. And that's just another topic. There's numerous other stories I can add in that from my personal experiences, but from what I've experienced, especially near-death experience, where I've been told I'm going to be dead, period, in a day, I do not fear death. Bring it. I've lived one hell of a full life. I've done a lot of shit that many, many people aren't ever going to experience. I'm going to do a bit of an explanation here so you don't think it's just a macho thing I'm trying to say, which it isn't. But I have fulfilled basically all my goals, personal goals in life. I became good at what I wanted to get good at. I reached levels of success that I wanted to reach for me, and I wasn't in competition with my fellow human being ever. It was all me. I wanted to become and experience the most I could and become as free as I could. Did it. I am very, very, very grateful for that. So, getting back to my statement about me not being scared of death, I won't feel ripped off in a second if my life came to an end this week. I mean, obviously, I'd be missing out on some, but I'm just trying to explain to you, I don't fear death, man. So, that's a bit of a babble for there. Let me go through your email again to make sure I answer everything clearly, all right? That was a bit of a babble, took me down a couple of routes. I've been sitting on this information for a long time. All right, you said you had an encounter with one of these things, scared the crap out of you once, but then you went on to say that you've been doing cleanup. So that tends to possibly hint that you have a lot more experience with these things than just that one experience, maybe. And what would I do with this information? I would do with this information no different than the information I've been doing this whole past couple of years. That is sharing with the people. So, the people who make you nervous to share your information due to death, well, I want to know who they are. I want to know who they are. I want to know why they kill people for sharing knowledge with the people. I want to know why, and I want to expose their asses. So there you go. I'm not going to beat around the bush about it. Do they scare me? I'm not scared of death. We are all given one life, and that's it. And we all deserve the equal chance of becoming the best we can become in this one lifetime. And we are not put here to serve other human beings. We're not here to donate our labor so that 1% of the human beings can benefit from the fruits of our labor so fiercely as they have. We're not here to do those things. And no human being owns, how can I even say this? I know what I want to say, I'm a little tired, and my brain is going a million miles per hour right now after that email. No human being is allowed to withhold knowledge from another human being. You're not allowed. Unfortunately, that has been going on. Look where we are now. Look where we are now. We have people being beaten in the streets for not wearing a mask in various countries. We have people not being able to speak out loud and openly, or they're going to go to jail. Australia's doing that to their people. Canada is right there as well. I'm going to stop myself because I could really battle for a while on this. But anyway, that's my end game, is my present game. My present game is to encourage everyone to stop following a human being and being ordered by a human being. Learn what you can, speak your free mind, and share that honest knowledge, and help the children grow to be more independent and make this lifetime better for far more people than just that group of pricks that control the narratives today. It's not fair. It's not fair that so many people are out here in a naive way, and they're having these terrifying, life-changing experiences, and then they turn around and get belittled by today's community for what they saw, and they're trying to share with the community what they saw to warn them or to give them that honest information. Are you freaking kidding me? That puts me on fire. But anyway, don't take that as a personal challenge to you when I say you're scared to death, I'm not. Big deal. It's just the way it is. Yeah, I've had other people contact me and made emails for me, and I've logged on, changed the sign-in, and I still have great conversations with them today. And a couple of them have never given me permission to share any of the knowledge they shared with me, and I haven't. So, you want to go ahead and do that? Let's get her on. Share what you want to share. And if you share information with me that you don't want me to share with the people right away, I won't do it. But if you have something that you are willing to share with me, and then it's up to me to risk my ass by sharing it with the world, well, that's going to be my decision, not yours. All right? I decide for me. Nobody else does. Nobody controls me. Nobody tells me what I can or can't do or say in this lifetime. Period. Nobody can annihilate my career. Nobody can fire me. It's not going to happen. Nobody can take anything from me. Anyway, it's a bit of a babble. Obviously, this email has struck a little bit of a chord, a nerve with me to pursue it, engage in conversation, and but we'll see. How credible are you? How credible is this person emailing us right now? Who knows? We've had people email us and tell us that they routinely kill these things with flamethrowers, for God's sakes, right? But anyway, that's that. I suggest we end this video share today on this note, so that we don't get this particular email lost amongst the next that are coming. And we will see what comes. I will reply to your email once I get back, and we will take it from there. The ball's in your court. You want to share with me? Share away. I'll sign into that email, change over the security, sign in, and we'll get some sharing going. All right? Thanks for sharing. I hope. And I'm going to hope that you're sincere, and this isn't just another chase your tail line of bullshit, right? But you have to get through the bullshit in life. It doesn't matter what topic you are looking into, what direction you want to go, what knowledge you're gaining. You have to dive into the bullshit. You have to. And in the end, you always come out smelling like roses in the end anyways, because you'll always find that little nugget of gold in there. But you're not going to find the gold unless you dive into the bullshit and uncover it, right? Getting back to the other previous email, Mr. Ash, his diaries. Oh my God, am I looking forward to hearing from that. Aren't you guys all? But anyways, let's change up a camera angle here, and I'm going to hang out here for a bit, and then I'm even going to get higher on this mountain and see what else we can see. I love going up a mountain I've never been on. I love it. And even more so, I love going over the top. It drives me nuts not knowing what's on the other side of this mountain. I'm going to end up there today, maybe, but it looks like possibly. There we go. Thanks for the emails, you guys. Back tomorrow.